2015's Guns, Gore, and Cannoli quickly became a favorite of mine, and now the sequel is out on PS4. But does this one end up serving up a tasty treat, or should this one just have a hit put out on it? Guns Gore Cannoli 2 is a up to 4 player 2D twin stick shooter. The original was set with a more mafia aesthetic and theme, and this one starts with that but then quickly branches off into more of a World War II setting in Europe. The game is a continuation of the original, featuring the main character of Vinnie Cannoli. There's a lot of playable characters though, and there really isn't a ton of difference between them. It's more of just the look of the character and which ones you prefer. The game's controls take a little bit of getting used to. You're moving and aiming using the left and right sticks. However, to jump, instead of using a face button, you're using one of the trigger buttons, and because of this, it may take a little bit of practice to kind of get it down. Once you do though, you'll be able to jump, double jump, and roll your way through the levels and being able to escape from enemy fire. There's a ton of enemies in this game. There's always action-packed sequences, followed by another action-packed sequence. If you try to rush through levels, enemies will chase you down and end up defeating you eventually. So you can't just rush through the levels. Well, you can, you're just gonna have to fight off a mob at the end. The game has 4 difficulties, increasing the amount of damage you're going to take per enemy attack. Playing with more players, there's a lot of action going on, tons of enemies, and it can really get hectic, and it's easy to lose your character on screen with so much action going on. This allows for a very frantic nature, but some players may find it a bit overwhelming. During multiplayer games, when your character ends up dying, as long as someone's still alive, you can revive yourself, taking a bit of their health, though once you're down to just 1 hit apiece, you can still revive, but you're only going to have that 1 hit left before you end up dying. If all characters are wiped out, or if you're playing in single player and run out of health, you just go back to the previous checkpoint, and thankfully there's a plethora of them, so you're never set back too far. The boss encounters, the few that are there, provide a nice challenge. They are a bit of a bullet sponge, especially on the higher difficulties, so even in multiplayer it's going to take a while in order to best them, but when you finally do, it definitely feels rewarding. To help you take out these bosses as well as other enemies, there are weapons that you'll find scattered throughout the levels, and you can even store them, bringing up a weapon wheel in order to switch between your weapons. This allows you to store certain ammo types so that when you make it to harder encounters or bosses, you'll make sure that you have the right weapon for the right situation. The game does feature an auto-aim system that you can toggle on and off, and this really helps for some of the more intense encounters, being able to actually lock on from a distance, especially in bosses when you're dealing with so much. You want to make sure that the few shots you're able to get off actually do land, and this auto-aim helps with that, but if you want that bigger challenge, you can turn it off. From the technical side of things, there was no crashing or major bugs, just a couple of minor slowdown incidents here and there depending upon how much action was going on. Guns Gore Cannoli 2 is available now on the PS4 for $12.99. It's also available on PC and Nintendo Switch. It does have a Platinum Trophy on the PS4. Overall, Guns Gore Cannoli 2 is a really fun multiplayer twin-stick shooter. If you're looking for a game that you'll be able to play with some friends either online or on the same couch, you'll be able to do that with this game and probably get a few hours of enjoyment out of it, and you'll also get plenty of challenge even if you play the game by yourself. With everything said, I'm going to be giving the game an 8 out of 10. That's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.